Hello viewers and welcome to the GT3 Championship GT4 race taking place at a very dark and a very wet Misano. It's provided some very difficult and interesting racing this week as this track, combining not only the wet but the dark as well. It's really saw some fantastic battling, fantastic racing, but obviously the conditions are difficult as well. So I think it's a case of keep it on track, keep your thoughts together and don't make any mistakes. There's also been a couple of disqualifications, drivers going off track and not having the bearings and end up going against the flow of the track even though they're on grass, and that's an instant DSQ. So that's certainly something to consider, something to look out for, and we shall see if that actually happens. One of the benefits of this track is track limits are really generous, so I don't think we'll see any drive-throughs as a result of that. So what we'll do is we'll go to the stream initially, and what we'll initially do is look at the current table of the GT4 Championship. I'm not taking part this week, so my position probably down, towards the middle to top area is not going to change this week. If anything, I'll probably go down. But as you can see, we've got Mediotti, who's just sitting behind Chris Bourne. 20 points. I've been watching pre-qualifying and Mediotti's looking really quick, to be honest. I think this one could be between Chris Bourne, Mediotti. I'm not seeing John Saunders on it this way. Oh, John Saunders is there as well. So we've got the top three guys definitely racing. We've got Jeremy in the BMW. I'll tell you who was looking quick before was Andreas Pettersson, who's currently residing in the Mercedes with 172 points. So it's all to play for, certainly. Chris Bourne obviously would like to have that victory. But if he has a mistake and falls down the grid, it means Alessandro could actually claim a top spot in the championship of the GT4. So what we'll do is we'll jump on board. I'll try and jump on board with Mediotti actually, because his laps are quite exciting. And what I'll do is I'll talk about where he is on the track. And we'll try and give you the best description of the track as possible, and any pitfalls to consider. The GT4s is a bit easier than the GT3s to race actually, so it's not all doom and gloom, shall we say. It's just coming onto the final bend, which will take us onto the start-finish straight past the pits. The pits is a really peculiar one here. If you get the pit exit wrong, you could end up colliding with another car, so it's the case of being very careful. So full power, get to the left, and what you're looking to do here is brake it just beyond the board and then sneak the corner as right angle as possible so you can drift left into what is called the Variante del Parco, corners 1, 2 and 3. Get the power on easily here, start braking as you get towards the board, just before the board marker, and that takes you into corner 4, which is Rio. Difficult corner to take this. You want to get the gears down and get the power down as quick as possible. Staying to the right here so you can cut the left hand side, and that's corner 5 and 6. This bit here you can get your foot down, power down towards the end. You'll see 3 markers. You're braking around the second marker depending on how strong you are. Believe it or not, it's corner 7 now, although it's not a corner. This takes us to corner 8, which is Casilla. Get the power down early, accelerate up. You want to drift left a little bit here into corner 9, and then you've got 2 right-handers, an easy one then a short one, which is corner 9 and 10. It takes us into Tremonto. Then we end up with a big long straight with 2 bends in it that you can take at full tilt even in a GT3 car. So foot down, stay left, start drifting right to cut over to the right hand side onto it's called curve on. It's corner 11, that takes it to corner 12. Again, another easy one, flat out, brake hard, get into corner 13, drift the car around a little bit, stay on the track, otherwise you will lose track there, and that takes us into corner 14, which is Caro. Power down early, that takes us into corner 15. Again, cut the left hand side as much as possible to get the power down, and that takes us into the final corner, which is the track's name, Misano, corner 16. So that's a very brief, quick track guide of this track. I do think Mediotti is going to get pole. He's already done a 149.6, and that was actually quicker than his qualifying pre-qualifying lap before. He did a 146.9. He's obviously learning the track a little bit there. But what I'll do is I'll jump back a little bit to find someone who's not on a spoiler lap or who's on a quit lap, and we'll ride on board with them John Saunders has gone second fastest with a 150.049, as you can see on the leaderboard there. I'll move up a bit so you can see that. We're currently on board with Krista in McLaren. He's up a little bit. He's coming towards, not the end of his lap, but he's not far off. He's going through the fast section now. He's lost his time on the fast section. He's currently running with a 151.6. That's currently putting him in 7th place. Hi Stefan, morning. Good afternoon, Peter. Thanks for joining. I don't usually do Wednesdays, so might catch me off guard a little bit this. And I'm also flying solo today, so a little bit different. Although Kenneth Lingham is hoping to join me if he can get back in time, so I may not be alone for the whole of it. Hi Richard McKay. Thanks for joining. I know the Wednesday streams don't usually get as many viewers as the others, but I'm just doing it for obviously the viewing and allow people to keep track of what's going on in the race. Krista lost a lot of time there. Let's jump forward with Derek. Derek's best lap is a 150.8. He's currently 4/10 up. And as you can see this time, I'll put the timing board up straight away rather than forgetting about it. But I can see the splits which you can't. Now, Alessandro is looking like he wants to go even faster, believe it or not. He's not happy with his 149.6. John Saunders is going slightly faster. I'll keep an eye on that. That could put him into the 149s. Derek Bird's still 4/10 up here at the moment. He's not going to gain on John Saunders, but all it's going to do is solidify his 3rd place at the moment. The nearest person to him is Rickard at Weston, who's currently in 4th with a 151.1. He's lost a bit of time in one corner there. As you can see, the car just wouldn't put the power down a little bit, and consequently has lost a bit of time. Let's see how he does here. He's 3/10 up again now, so he's gained a little bit. He's 4/10 up. He's got that corner really on, and he's 5/6. So he's really nailed these last few corners. He needs to get the power down. Yeah, he's kept the 6/10. This is looking like a 150.2 at the moment. Can he get around this final corner and keep the power down? No, he's lost a 10th there. So he's looking at, he's now looking at a 150.4. 150.3, 150.4. And I'm going to be proven wrong, and it's a 150.2. He gained a 2/10 towards the end of that lap. He's obviously got his power down a lot earlier there. So good lap there for Derek. And he's, again, he's looking quicker again, even out on his lap. I mentioned the pits before. You can see that car's just come out the pits. It's very easy for you to come out the pits and collide with someone. You've really got your wits about you for the pit stops here. Not for the pit stops, hopefully people aren't going to make pits, but certainly qualifying and anybody who has to go into the pits for damage repairs or whatever. Yes, Don, great night for a drive in the rain. So Derek's lost his time here. I'm going to jump back a little bit with Mr. Bourne. Chris Bourne's half a second up. He's on, well, he was. He's just lost a lot of time. He's on a 150.4. Mediotti's going 2/10 quicker at the moment. That's cost Chris a little bit of time. That he's not going to jump any further forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look between Saunders and Mediotti as it stands. Mediotti's going quicker. Saunders is going quicker. As at this rate, both them drivers are going to enter the 149s. Let's just stay on board with Mr. Saunders. Looking at where he is, he's still relatively early into his lap, but he is 3/10 up. He's still got the potential of gaining more time. Now 3/10 up will take him to a 149.7. He's now on a 149.6. So he is in Mediotti's territory. But I will say Mediotti is 3/10 up on his 149.662. So he's looking to do a 149.3, and Saunders has lost all his time there. His clock absolutely plummeted. Quickly shift over. He's coming up to next final corner. He's 3/10 up. He's lost time as Mediotti, but he's gained it back. He's got some cracking acceleration, and he's looking at a 149.2 here. No, he's lost time. 149.3 perhaps. A 149.3. I don't think that's going to be beaten, if I'm being brutally honest. Now, someone who was running really well in pre-qualifying was Andreas. And he's languishing in 17th at the moment with a 152.7. But what I can see is his split, and as he stands, he's looking at a look at that, he's looking at a 151 flat as it stands. going faster. He's now into the 150s. 150.8 I think he's on for at this moment in time. He's now on a 150.7. You can see just how much time he's gaining. A 150.6. Oh, he's lost a load of time in that corner. He's been shaking the time off there. No, he's gained it all now. He's back again. He's definitely looking at a 150 something now. He's still got lots of this really time to make here. I think he's going to be doing a 150.3. That's going to jump him right up the leaderboard into 4th. Oh, 5th place, a 150.4. He lost a bit of time in the final corner there. But great lap there from Andreas, and that's in keeping with his lap time in pre-qualifying. He didn't let me down there. Hi Robert, hi Nikos, thanks for joining guys. It's getting rather lonely with no Jeremy or sidekick, shall we say. Let's jump on board with Rayner. Rayner's half a second up. His best is a 151.639. 3/1000ths of a second behind Jeremy. And he's currently half a second up, so this is going to put him into the low 151s. Could move him up as high as 7th in front of Nikos. Hi Natty. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Nikos with a good lap there of a 151.1. He's now 7/10ths up his Rayner here. He's improved in performance, Rayner, massively recently. It's weird because one week you're racing with him and he didn't seem as quick as some of the guys, and the following week it's like it's all just come together, and he's a hell of a racer now. I must say, he's one of these I'm watching the timing tables just to see where he is, because I do see him as a very quick Group 2 racer, and in the right car, in the right conditions, he's almost unbeatable. He's still half a second up here. He's a 151.6, so he's going to be a 151. Oh, and he's now 6/10ths. He's knocking on 150 door here. Is he going to do it? Yeah, he made a load of time up there. 150, so he's going to jump up into 7th in front of Nikos, I believe. There you go. He's just claimed the position in front of Nikos. Let's jump on board with Jeremy. Jeremy's 6/10ths up. We've got 7 minutes of qualifying left to go. Hi Jonathan, welcome to the stream. Still 6/10ths up. He's also looking at this. He's looking at a 150.8. So he's looking to beat Rayner or Nikos at this point. He's lost it. Yeah, he's still looking okay actually. He's now on a 150.7. He's 6/10ths up. So let's see where this puts him. Coming over. I reckon he's going to end up about 7th here. Am I wrong? Oh, he's gone 8th. He's 2,000. Oh no, he's not. He's 1/100th of a second slower than Jeremy. Jonathan's watching while he's in a Samsung conference call. Exciting stuff. Right. Unbelievable track time alert. We're on with Chris Bourne. Okay, he's on a 150.3 and he's a staggering 1.1 seconds up. This is going to put him a 150.2. He was quicker than that. He was on a 149.1. So let's see where this goes. He's lost a bit of time there. You can see though he's done a 149.3. He means business. Mediotti's not going to walk this. It was looking like a runaway. And the 7/10ths between him and John Saunders, who's the next fastest guy. But Alessandro, he's not going to be outdone here. He's looking for the 148. That magical 148. Can he be the first driver to go into the 148? He's certainly trying it, but he's lost all the time. He was 2/10ths up, but he's lost the time. So let's go on board with Ricard. Ricard's best time is a 150.991. You can see that from the timing chart. I appreciate that. He's currently 3/10ths up, which will put him in a 150.6, which is 7th place. He has lost a bit of time there. He really does need to pull another couple of tenths out if he can. Otherwise, he's only going to jump a couple of places here. He needs to get good corners into this. He's now 3/10ths up. Can he gain even further? No spin on the car. Good traction. He's still 3/10ths. He's looking at a 150.6 or 150.7 here at the moment. So I think he's going to go into 7th place. If he can get this corner nailed. Yeah, I think we're going to see Ricard in 7th place here. Just in front of Eric. No, he's lost a bit of time, unfortunately. He's gone just in front of Rayner. Yeah, he lost a bit of time. Look at the differences. 3/300ths of a second between Eric and Ricard. Fantastic lap times. Right, what are we doing here? John Saunders, a 150.0. He's 4/10ths up early into the lap. He's going for a 149.6 at the moment. Mediotti's not happy with his 149.242. He's really trying. He's going up, then he's losing his time. He's obviously trying too hard into some of the corners, gaining the momentum into the corner, but losing it coming out. So, yeah, Saunders is at the moment is 0.3 up. He's lost a 10th there. He really does need to... This should put him into the 149s and put him safely on third position, which will put him behind Mediotti on the start-finish grid. Mediotti's still going round again. He may well be up, but he's not up more than a 10th. In fact, he's down. He's gone into the red now. We'll switch to another driver in a minute. Someone down at the back who's doing a good lap time, actually. They're going to finish their lap. Just quickly jump back. Melvin's looking for a 151.9. He was. He's lost a lot of cut time in that corner. It's going to put him into 152.1 this, which may move him up one position. No, he's very close to the driver in front. Back to John Saunders. John Saunders is 5/10ths up, 6/10ths up. He's going for a 149.6 here. Oh, he's lost a bit of time. 149.7, perhaps. 5.5. Oh, it was a spoilt lap. Oh no, 149.5. There you go. My apologies. Derek Bird's now looking at the 149s. His best is a 150 flat, and he's looking to take a bit of time off that. Mediotti's going quicker again. Hi John, welcome to the stream. Mediotti gets 3/10ths up and loses it all. It seems to be lap after lap after lap. He makes a load of time. As I said, it looks like he's going into a corner, braking late, getting the time, and then can't get the power down coming out. So he's losing time coming out of the corners. I'm going to jump to the back. We're with Dimitri. Sim Racing Montreal, I think it is. Sim Race at Sim Montreal. His best is a 153.1. He's 1.7 seconds up. So he's looking at a 151.2 at the moment. He's lost a lot of time, actually. He's still looking at a 151. This is going to bring him up the table significantly from where he is. Nikos is starting to slowly move down the table a little bit as a result of this as well. Hi Andy, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. He's 1.7 seconds up. He's 1.8. He got that corner nailed really well. But again, getting the power down. He was late getting the power down. He's still going to jump him up the table. Yeah, that's put him 2 places behind Nikos in 14th place. So 151.4. So just let's look at this at the moment. We've got 3 drivers in the 149s. We've got 1, 2, 3, 7 drivers in the 150s. 7 drivers in the 151s. And then beyond that, they're in the 152s. So, and you can see there, Mediotti's just done a 149.1. I told you he wasn't happy with his 242. He just wanted to go faster. Cheers, Robert. Yeah, it's just a shame that first lap you broke really early. As I said, I thought you actually brake checking me. It was that early. I was still accelerating hard. But luckily, in the both cases where I did nudge you, you didn't get taken out. So, you know, I know I nudged you, but you didn't get taken out. But yeah, it was good fun, actually. You know, and you proved you were fast. But yeah, I just couldn't get past the width of your car. You seemed to put it in all the right places and all the right parts of the track. So consequently, it's hard to pass, isn't it? I was waiting for that one mistake that you never actually made. I had fun in the Ferrari last night anyway. That Ferrari was... it took me about 10-15 laps to get to grips with it. But then I ended up on a 140. I was on it for a 140.8, I think it was. in race trim, so I really got to grips with it. But it's so twitchy, the back end. It was you know, so temperamental to go off. I did actually spin it on the start finish straight. The back end was that temperamental, but you know, that's racing at the end of the day. I was there as a guest driver just to claim a few points, which is what I did for Team Babolas. Right, we're coming to the end of qualifying now, by the looks of it. Right, we'll wait for. I think there's only a couple of cars out on this straight. Let's have a look. I've got a couple of cars out at the moment. They will be. There's only car 46, I think. That's got a valid lap in them. 46, it looks like 46 and 215 are racing. 46 is Vitala. He's right down at the back. He's not done a lap yet, actually, PJ. And 215 is Paul Moore. So both of these. Right. Back shortly. Okay, who's turned up in car 69? Well, that's an in-joke, Jonathan, so I'm going to leave that one to you. I'm not going to get involved. Okay, so we're going to do the walk down the grid. Obviously, if people haven't started their engines, so the lights are off, it makes it a little bit darker. In the green and black Porsche, we've got Alessandro Mediotti, Chris Bourne in the new liveried Mercedes, got John Saunders in the Aston Martin. We've then got Derek Bird in the usual Porsche. We've then followed by Frank Roder, who's managed to quietly put a lap in, and Andreas Pettersson in the Swedish coloured Mercedes. We've then got Krista Hjort in the McLaren and Eric Dont in the Ginetta. Looks like that's going well around here. Rickard Weston, who's in the Chevrolet Corvette, whatever it's called, and then we've got Rainer Berger in the BMW. We've then got Jeremy in a BMW, although I'm not showing his right colours for some reason. We've then got, I think that's Reese Wiggin in the other American muscle car. We've then got Nikos in the usual Audi that he usually drives, followed by Dimitri in the other Aston. Further down the grid, we've got Paul Moore and Much Paunov in the Castrol BMW. We've then got Terry Trowbridge in the McLaren, and we've got Mike Dearlove in an Aston. Further down, we've got Kevin Torrance in the, again, that looks like a Corvette, and then we've got Melvin in the Aston. We've got BMW of Richard Columb and Manuel Souza in the green Aston. We're down to the Porsche of Peter Miles, PJ Vitala in the other Porsche, and at the back of the grid we've got Daniel Britos. So that's the grid walk as it is. Just let me change my camera angle. Go back to the front of the grid. Go into... where's my camera angles all gone? They've changed it all on me. Okay, so off we go. You can see the line water on the track. It doesn't cause any problems though in relation to aquaplaning. So one of the safe settings of this track is there's no aquaplaning. It's lights out and away we go. Good start from Mediotti there and Chris Bourne. Can't see any incidents as it stands. All looking relatively clear. It's getting a bit bunched up at the back, but everyone seems to have made it round. And again, they've made it round into the second corner. A couple of very close calls there. There has been a contact, although I don't think it's caused too much of a problem. Terry Trowbridge, I think they've made contact with each other ever so slightly. But everyone's up and running now. Derek Bird has made contact, but I assume that's more of a nudge rather than you know, a critical impact that's taken a car out. One of the downsides of the night races when you're streaming is obviously the vision isn't the same. So I'll be toggling a lot between the in-car, and there has been an incident towards the back. It looks like Paul Moore and Terry Trowbridge have had a bit of it to do, and they're now belly dancing off track. And you can see that the Mercedes at the back there is really struggling. So Terry's managed to get himself going again. He's got a lot of ground to patch up there, Terry. He's already 6 seconds behind Daniel Britos. Melvin's managed to make a pass already. Melvin's passed Sousa. Well, Melvin's already gained a position. It's just starting to settle down now. The front two guys, as you can see, are 1 second away from John Saunders already. So they're really putting the foot down early on, and it'll be interesting to see what the speed of the fast lap is. Krista Hjort, just going to jump back a little bit, is putting pressure on Frank Roder. And I think there's a gaggle of cars here that are going to stick together throughout this race. I am keeping an eye on Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne is putting pressure on Mediotti, but at the moment Mediotti's keeping him at bay. Excellent, so you can see they're running really well. Andreas is putting pressure on Derek Bird. I'll jump forward to that one. You can see the muscle of Mercedes, and Derek's got defensive early on here to claim the line into the first corner. That Mercedes got some really good grunt on this track. You can see they're not too far from the cars in front of them, but I think it's just the Mercedes has just got a lot of grunt in it. So this next lap will be interesting in relation to the lap times. Chris Bourne is putting pressure, proper pressure, on Mediotti here. He's not going to get a good enough run here, but this next corner is going to be interesting about his braking point and which angle he's going to take. Is he going to take it tight in and wide out? He's going wide all the way round. He's definitely got a good run there. And Krista Hjort has managed to pass two cars and then went very wide in doing so. So you can see Krista's lost a lot of time there. Hopefully he's going to make a safe rejoin. You can see he's just getting back on track. I think that's in front of Ricard Westin there. Yeah, he's just managed to get back. Frank Roder's had an incident. That looks like a love tap as opposed to a hit and a spin. So Frank Roder, yeah, I think there must have been a tap from behind there on Frank. He's managing to keep himself going a little bit there. A lot of people have become very racy, very, very quick. But the tyres have settled down. Camaro, Robert, yeah. Sorry, I knew it was I always get the names mixed up because of the GT3s, the GT4s. The Porsche is the only one easy to remember. Right, I'm going to jump back forward to Mr. Bourne, who's really looking at Mediotti here. This is going to be interesting. Because Mediotti looked like he was going to walk it, and then Chris Bourne just started putting them laps in one after the other in qualifying. So I think you can see the front guys are already into the 151s, and Chris Bourne is going the fastest at the moment. Melvin's now past Peter Miles further down the grid. Going for the very wide line here, isn't he, Chris? Going to get the power down early, see if he can cut the corner left. Which is exactly what he's going for, so we can get the power down, but Mediotti's doing exactly the same. They're driving exactly the same style, which really makes it difficult to pass. Hi Terry, welcome to the stream. I can't turn the stadium lights on, sorry Robert. Yeah, it's like driving in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? You'd have thought there would have been lights on at the side, actually. Very good point, that. Right, I'm just going to jump back a little bit because Jeremy's been battling here and has just passed Dimitri. So there's Dimitri, sorry, Jeremy in front of Dimitri. Jeremy's on a mission, and with it being a hard track to pass, he's done really well there. I think Dimitri went too deep into the corner and allowed Jeremy to cut up the inside. Another man on a mission is Mr. Hjort. Putting pressure on the Camaro. Thank you, Robert. good angles into there. But oh, they've both gone very, very wide. Luckily, as I said, you don't get track limit warnings on this track. It's showing Merch and Dimitri as going slow, but I don't think none of them have gone off track as it stands. He's lost a bit of ground to the Camaro there. Reese Wiggins putting pressure. You can see there Mediotti's just done a 150.3 and a Chris Bourne's done a 150.5. John Saunders has done a 150.6. Derek Bird's done a 150.5. So they're all starting to get together quite early on, actually. It's going to make an interesting race. Reese is putting a load of pressure on Roder here, Frank Roder. Reese in the chat before was saying I don't think he relished the idea of wet and dark. I think he prefers either dark or wet, but not the both. I have to say, the 2 races I've had in this, I have enjoyed it. Camaro, that's it. Oh, and there's been an incident. I'm gonna go to a replay on this one because this is a couple of drivers. It's not going back to me. There you go. There you go. So we're on board at the moment with Nikos in the red Audi. He's going wide. He's coming back on. Oh dear. Oh, and there's cars going everywhere as a result of that. I think that probably classifies as an unsafe rejoin. We shall see. It's a shame that. Okay, let's. So Krista did actually take Ricard. Missed that as a result of the replay. He's just taken that position now. You can see there that cut that was done. I think it was done in a very similar corner to where Jeremy took someone before. I'm going to jump back to Chris Bourne because Chris Bourne is really looking at Mediotti here now. So even though Mediotti's done the fastest lap, Chris is the first one to do a 149.7 in race trim, and he's right in the boot space of Mediotti now. The Mediotti's having a lot of pressure put on him. And you can see Chris is just showing his nose in places to cause him to go defensive. He put Mediotti to turn right quite early on there and move right, which means his corner exit speed is going to differ. He's got a great run as Chris here. You can see, is he going to gain? Not too sure where he's got enough run here. But again, these corners, it's the slightest mistakes, but you've seen these guys race. Mistakes not in their vocabulary. You know, Mediotti, I don't think I've ever seen him go off track, apart from when he's doing testing his car. Chris Bourne, you don't see Chris Bourne go off track. Merch has managed to pass PJ Vitala after his tap from Nikos before. And Merch is now moving forward. Nikos has managed to pass Daniel Britos. So Nikos is no longer in last place. The rest of the grid's actually spaced out quite a lot, believe it or not. Yeah, you can see there now, these two are really going for it. I mean, Saunders isn't far behind. I think Saunders is waiting for contact perhaps to pick up the morsels that are left behind. You can just see the difference in drive. That Mert looks like it's planted much better than the Porsche of Mediotti. Nikos, just jump back a little bit, because Nikos is going on the outside. He's going to try and take Sousa on the outside, and he's made it stick. Great move by Nikos there. Now he's got himself sorted again. I'm going to jump back to the front because we've now got 3 cars in the battle. Saunders got within 2/10 of Chris Bourne there. Now I'm just starting to think, are these two getting held up? Because I just noticed Derek is just starting to close the gap up ever so slightly. Let's see where it goes. Chris Bourne's just starting to pull off again, isn't he? Merch is now back at the back of the grid, 69 and 65. Him and Peter Miles have had contact. Merch is now at the back. There was a bit of an incident there. He's going for the outside again. He's not going to get the drive though, because Mediotti will get exactly the same drive coming out of that corner. It's a good idea that, Robert, actually. Yeah, break your headlights and you can't You can't race. I do know if you have an impact on the front, your lights flicker, and it really does your head in. But I don't think in the replays it shows that. Otherwise, you'd have people having fits watching the races. So I think that's designed. Perhaps we'll see. If somebody has an impact and they start flickering, we'll see it. I'm sure we will. Saying that, the view I can see looks pretty clear. So even though I said it's at night and we can't really see too much about the liveries of the cars, got a good run there, Chris. Not enough though. Certain parts of the track where there is light, and it's just showing the race off really, really well. Again, I'm looking down the grid, and there's not much in the way of battles. Because this is... Oh, has he got a good run here? Has Chris Bourne got a good run? Mediotti's going to go defensive, but Chris could take the inside there. He's playing it safe. Hi, Billy. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Much appreciate it. Chris is... Oh, look at that. He's got a great run. In fact, he had to ease off a little bit, didn't he? I think he's looking for the good old switcheroo, if that's what they call it. He's got a good angle into that turn as well. Mediotti knows he's in a race today. Chris is an exceptional driver. Exceptional. No matter what the circuit is, what the track is, what the conditions are. Look at him. He's all over the track, just looking for that extra morsel of grip to allow him to pass. Mediotti's gone defensive again. Chris could try and go up the inside, but he isn't going to get the drive. We're just so closely matched. And as I said, John Saunders is just sat there as well. So we've got the top three runners within a second of each other. Absolutely fantastic. I want to jump elsewhere. I'm going to jump down a little bit because Melvin, who's slowly has been making progress. Melvin's caught up to Dimitri. So it's Aston versus Aston. And he's passed a few cars already, Melvin. So he's definitely on a mission. I'm just going to keep an eye on another racer who's had a couple of incidents already. Oh! That was a biggie. That was Terry Trowbridge. And I'm not going to tell you what happened there because you can probably guess. And we can guess who it is involved with. So unfortunately, I think there's been a bit of a incident. We can guess with who. And he's gone very, very quick. He's gained. He's not aware of the braking points. He's gone for the inside. Fair comment. Looking at how far Nikos went off, though, I can't help thinking he was going a bit too fast there. Without the benefit of the replays and all the angles, though, Nikos had the inside line. I'm not saying he had the corner, but he did have the inside line. So Nikos gained from that. Terry didn't, unfortunately. I'm going to jump in with Krista now. Krista was gaining on Eric in the Ginetta, but that Ginetta in the corners is brilliant. So much grip in the corners. It's the straight where the Ginetta struggles. No, I don't think he does, Robert. Nikos doesn't race with the brake pedal. The what? Which pedal? Sorry, the what? I've got one of them, have I? I'd love to see his car. I wonder if his car's full of dents. You know, you go on holiday sometimes and you see all the cars just full of dents. Yeah, Kenneth's just let me know he's not going to be able to join the commentary. Bit of a shame. But the door was open. And another car's gone wide at the top. Who was that who's gone wide? Was it Jeremy? Yeah, Jeremy went wide then. So Jeremy's gone off track. He's lost a lot of time. Actually, no, I think it was Reese Wiggin. Reese Wiggin went deep. So Jeremy's now catching Reese as a result of that. Jeremy's eased off and backed off there. Reese's tyres could still be a little bit dirty. It's alright, he's made it round okay. Oof! Bit of action. Right, so I'm going to jump back to Krista because this battle's been going on. So this is Krista putting pressure on the Ginetta of Eric. And as I said, that Ginetta's brilliant in the corners. Chris Bourne's 4/10 still behind Mediotti. John Saunders has dropped back a bit now. John Saunders looks like the pace is probably getting to him a little bit. He's between 1.5 seconds and 2 seconds behind. I don't know if he's struggling keeping up with the pace. I mean, that pace up front is frantic. Chris's last lap was a 150 flat. Mediotti's last lap was a 151. And then John's last lap was a 150.5. Frank Roder was a 150.1 as well. So Frank Roder's moving forward on the track. He's 2.3 seconds behind Andreas. You can see there, he's having a go, Krista, but he's just not going to get the traction. As I said, this Ginetta, it's got no top end at all, but it's absolutely brilliant in the corners. So he pulls away, and then you'll just see the McLaren start reeling it back in again. He'll get into the corners, and it just disappears again. Well, he's spoiled the corner a little bit there. Watch him pull away initially. Yeah, gets the drive, and then you'll see the McLaren come back at it. To the front, see what's going on. These two are still at it. I don't know where this one's going to end with these two. I think it's going to finish first and second in this situation, but wow, Derek Bird's dropped off the pace a little bit now as well. I mean, let's face it, it's a lot to keep up with these. They are relentless. Now Krista's, I got a blip then, and the blip happened when Krista passed Eric. Now Eric's managed to go up the inside, and that's opened the door. Ricard's going for it as well. Now the good thing is Krista's got the inside line here, so Eric's going to have to take the wide line around the outside. It's doable, but it's tricky, and it also means he's going to give potentially the corner to Ricard, but no, he's back in position again now. So he has lost the position there as Eric. As I said, that Ginetta's great in the corners, and you can see now he's being taken. That Camaro's flying down the outside. Just doesn't have the grunt and the acceleration once you're on the straight. Oh, he's gone into that corner very deep. That's allowed Ricard to nick up the inside. And he's made the pass there, but he's not giving up. Oh, I thought he was drifting that. He's lucky, Ricard. There's no track limits there. He'll get away with that. Keeps the power down. And that Ginetta just will not have the grunt to catch that car at this point. Can he do it under braking into the corner? He's going up the inside. A lot of respect there. But again, we might see the grunt of the Camaro coming out the corner. I'm going to jump back a little bit because we've got Dimitri Stathis and Mike Dearlove. And Dimitri Stathis has made the pass, but he's gone very deep in trying to do so. This also means that Melvin might also get a chance. He's managed to keep that going as Dimitri, actually. Has he got the inside? He's not got the inside. But Mike's going to go deep by the looks of it. Melvin's caught right up. Right on his bumper, on his coattails there. Ricard is still behind Westin. And they've got Eric and Rayner both went wide. Off track. So Ricard's gained from that. By the looks of it. Melvin's getting a good run here. Again, Aston versus Aston. 26 minutes left to go. I was practicing this track yesterday, and I'll tell you, the sweat was streaming off me. And that was just in practice. No wonder I was worn out by the end of the race. 45 minutes. And I think it's actually easier in the dry. And the night doesn't worry me, but the wet adds something to it. And I think you tense up a little bit more when it's wet, because you don't want the car to slide unnecessarily off track. Because that's the fear in the back of your mind. Your tyre pressures, your heat. Are you going to slide? Are you going to drift? Are you going to lose the back end? And certainly GT3s, that's more prominent than, say, the GT4s. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still spin a GT4, but it takes a lot more to spin a GT4 than it does the GT3. And you'll also find when you put the power down on a corner in the GT3, oh, it's a good run here. Is he going for the outside? Yeah, Rayner's made that pass. No, he's not. He's kept his foot down. Reese Wiggins. Oh, Reese has gone wide. Rayner's going to get the move done. And are we going to see Jeremy make it as well? Jeremy's just behind Reese there. No, Jeremy's going to hold off a little bit and see where this goes. We've seen Reese make a couple of little mistakes now on this track. You can see he's gone wide and deep there again as Reese was. Jeremy's got quite a nice tight line. And you can see Rayner's got a nice quite tight line. Jump forward to the cars in front, and these two are still going. So Eric's not giving up on Ricard. Even though I think they both went wide before, they're not giving up. I think they both probably followed each other around the same corner, if I'm being brutally honest. Nikos is now behind Terry Trowbridge. Touch of irony there. I think Nikos has gone off. So Terry's now got Nikos behind him yet again. I'm sure he's going to be salivating at that prospect. But Terry's actually managed to pass Britos, and Paul Moore has managed to pass Peter Miles. So Peter Miles has obviously gone deep, as you can see there. There's no gap between them at all. It's massive. But Peter Miles looks like he's running really, really slow. Yeah, that gap's massive. I think Peter must have got into a corner, yeah, and gone wide just like that. You can see he's struggling keeping it on track a little bit. And that's Sousa, who eventually I should imagine will catch. Let's jump back to Reese. These three are still at it. It's all a case of keeping it on track here now. We've seen Reese go wide a couple of times. I don't know if it's the same corner he's gone wide on actually. But Rayner's definitely got a better drive out of that corner. Like Reese is better under braking. Oh, Melvin's lost a place. Kevin. I think Kevin got him up the inside of that corner. That's a ballsy move, but then again, Melvin may have gone deep into that corner. You go too deep, you will go off track, and the traction getting back on is awful. So consequently, if you took the narrow line on the inside, Kevin will have the track. But Kevin's gone off track here now and gone wide. Now, has he given the advantage back to Melvin? No. Benefit of this track is you can carry on putting your foot down and you won't get a track limit warning. Even though you look at that, was there an advantage? Well, yeah, he maintained track position, even though he's gone off. So, you know, I think it's a funny one, isn't it? And we've just seen Mediotti do a 1:49.6, and Chris is keeping up with him. Chris's best lap's a 1:49.5, so I think Chris at the moment's got the fastest lap overall in relation to this. They're still going at it. It does look like Mediotti's just starting to pull away. I don't know if the pressure's just starting to show. I think Chris might back off a little bit and then go again. Right, so Rhys Wiggins has made the pass. Rayner got bad drive out the corner, and it's allowed Rhys to pass him. And we can see now that Jeremy's now going to put pressure on the BMW. So that's two BMWs running together, following the Camaro. Now, I did say he was going to back off. Yeah, since when does Chris back off? Straight away, he was back down the throat of Alessandro. He had dropped back. I think he was just taking a breath. Either that or taking a sip of water. And he's just gone for it again. Maybe he's putting Mediotti into a false sense of security. I don't know. Melvin's putting pressure on Kevan, so I think Melvin must have made a mistake for Kevan to pass him. Refreshment. Keep your voice lubricated. No, it's not alcohol. Don't worry. I only drink when I'm driving. That's a joke, by the way. When I'm driving ACC. Brands here. I'd be very surprised. Completely different tracks. Dimitri and Melvin are swapping places all over the place. In fact, Dimitri's just gone off trying to pass Melvin. He's gone very deep there, Dimitri. He had made the pass on Melvin, but he'd made the pass under braking and gone too deep. Back to Jeremy. Jeremy's putting pressure on Rayner here in the BMW. So these are both BMW cars. Eric Dont still putting pressure on Ricard. So they're the only two big battles on track at the moment. Chris Bourne's dropped back a little bit, as mentioned before. I don't know if he's going to go for another dive in a minute, which is what he seemed to do. Yeah, the timing table changes position based on who we're viewing. It can only show so many people. Nikos isn't catching Terry Trowbridge anymore, so I think Nikos is going to finish right down towards the back. Danny Britos looks like he's struggling with the car. There's not much going on now, actually. It's really quieting down a little bit. Really quieting down. 19 minutes to go. There is the yellow flag, and that's Danny. I think Danny might be retiring. I don't know if he's got problems. I mean, that could be he's run out of fuel. He's gone to the pits. He seemed to be struggling with the car all the way around. I don't know if he's done any practice in this car. He seems to have been struggling with the car all race and not being very quick. And if you've ever seen Danny in the GT3, he's a quick guy, so that doesn't quite add up in my book. That. You could see just how quick that Ginetta was in the corner, and as soon as we got on the straight, the American muscle showed its power, didn't it? Yeah, straight into the corner. He's back with him. As soon as we get on the straight, the muscle just pulls away. Melvin's having a good race with Kevin, although it looks like Melvin's just gone a little bit deep into a corner. He's losing a lot of time to Kevin there. He looks like he's got himself back on and going again. Yeah, he'd lost quite a bit of time. Still light rain, so consequently the track's not going to dry out enough. You can still see it is wet all the way across. There's no puddles to drive into. Right, bit of action. I'm going to jump forward. We've got Andreas, who's pushing Derek wide. Derek Bird's gone very wide there. Andreas is looking to put Derek under pressure, so this is another Porsche Mercedes battle. See the flashing lights of Derek's Porsche there, making you aware it's dark and it's raining. Not that you know that, is it? So Eric's putting pressure on Ricard. Chris Bourne is trying to put pressure on Alessandro. Eric has now passed Ricard, as we said. I don't accept that to last though. And in fact, well, Ricard must have had a problem because Reese Wiggins took him now. So there's Ricard behind. So definitely a bit of a problem there. All of a sudden the track's woken up again. There's a few battles going on here now. I'm trying to work out which one to go to. We've got Melvin putting pressure on Kevin. We've got these going. That's very close under braking. Chris Bourne's still putting pressure on Mediotti. And Johnson. Oh, is that a dive? Is he going to make it? No, he's on the outside. He's going for the inside. Oh, he's just not got the power down. Woohoo! John Saunders is now playing in it. Wow. Oh, bit of a gap. I'm just going to change back to Ricard, who's getting who's putting pressure on Reese here. I think the Camaros. Well, this is two Camaros actually. Reese is in a Camaro as well. These are going to be, they're even the same engine. You can just see there. Reese's drive out that corner was tons better. But I think the power is going down better on them corners. The car behind, because it's gaining loads of time. It's gone a bit deep there. Pulling away now with Reese. Right. This is John Saunders now putting pressure on Chris Bourne. And as you can see, Chris Bourne has fallen back from Alessandro. Does that mean Chris has made a bit of a mistake and had a bit of an off? John Saunders is really putting pressure. This is the Aston versus the Mercedes, and he's going. Thought he was going to go for a dive up the inside. Then that was nearly contact. Yeah, Chris Bourne's now lost a second to Mediotti. Still, all three of them in the 149s. Fantastic racing this. Let's look at the splits, just so you can see what the splits are all about. Look at that, a 151.0 and a 151.2. You see Chris Bourne's managed to pull away a little bit there now, but is John going to come back at him? Is Chris now going to come back at Mediotti? He's had a bit of a break. He's got over his mistake. Nothing much happening there now. So again, I'm looking at the positions. Melvin's managed to pass Kevin. Kevin made a mistake. Kevin just coming around the last corner very, very slow there. and that allowed Melvin and Dimitri both to pass him. So he's made a mistake there. That's allowed Melvin to jump up into 14th place. So Melvin's now 4 seconds behind Mike Dearlove, and then Mike Dearlove is 16 seconds behind Jeremy. Jeremy's 1 second behind Rayner. Rayner's 1 second behind Rickard. Rickard's less than a second behind Eric. Eric's 7 seconds behind Krista. Let's have a quick rundown of the grid. So you can see Alessandro Matteotti is maintaining his first place from pole. Very, very consistent. Chris Bourne, very consistent. Just seems to be losing a bit of ground at the moment. Again, is he just letting his tyres come into it a little bit more? And then comes into a corner and he gains all that time. Typical, isn't it? John Saunders, who, to be fair, has stuck with them like glue. And there's a considerable gap between them and the next guy, which is Derek Bird, which is nearly 9 seconds. Derek's in a race of his own at the moment. There's no one putting pressure on Derek. Andreas was, but Andreas is now 3 seconds down. And Frank Roder, in actual fact, is now looking like he's going to put pressure. And as you can see, Chris Bourne's just done a 1:49.5. So Chris Bourne's just done a quickest lap, and that was 6/10 quicker than Alessandro. Frank Roder is having a good run here. He's currently in 6th place. I don't think he's gaining Andreas too much. I think he's looking for Andreas to make a mistake. Chris is 13 seconds down the field, but as you can see, he's under no pressure whatsoever. We can just race his own race. Eric has actually managed to put a gap between him and Reese and Rickard in the Ginetta, and as you can see, Reese and Rickard are still battling it out. So we're on with Reese at the moment. That's Rickard in the other Camaro. But these two have been battling, and he's gone a bit wide there. That's going to let Rayner catch up a little bit. So that's Rayner in the light green, lime green BMW. And then behind that, in the black coloured BMW, we have Jeremy Arabas, who's stuck with them, but looks like it's struggling to pass. Beyond that, we've got Mike Dearlove, who's in, I think that's one of the Astons, I think, is it? I'll really see it from here. And then we've got Melvin behind him. Melvin's managed to put a bit of a gap between him and Dimitri now. Dimitri's had a couple of offs, which has made it difficult for him to keep his pace up, I should imagine. So there's Dimitri in the black Aston with the orange stripe. And we've got New Zealander Kevin, who's had a couple of offs. He was leading that little group of cars before, but he's just gone deep in a couple of corners. Quick jump to the front. Battle's still going on. Chris is not giving this up. 11 minutes to go and Chris is not giving it up. Now, has Chris reserved a little bit of his tyres by not battling as much, just to start fighting for the last few laps? He's definitely got better braking. Mediotti just doesn't need to make a mistake, does he? Get a wheel wrong, and I think he'll keep him at bay a little bit there, because he's just not got... Oh, Saunders then. Bit of a wiggle. Oh, Chris has got a good run here, but he's not going to go for the dive up the inside. He's looking for it. Oh, is it going to make it stick? Now, Mediotti's got the inside line here. Chris needs a good run. This is interesting. They're very, very close. Oh, he's give up. Has Chris gone too deep? Chris has made... Oh, he's gone too deep. He's going to lose 2 places to John Saunders as well, is he? Oh, wow. So all that battling, he just couldn't keep it on track. Thought he'd gone into the corner too deep there. And now Saunders is putting pressure on him. Flying down this straight into the second fast corner. And then they're going to brake hard into the right-hander. Put the corner across. Accelerate a bit and then brake just after the red board. Get themselves put around the corner. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Very clean racing, Robert. Very clean racing. Very good racing. Where was I before? So we're now on board with Richard Colomb, who's again having a quiet race. Behind him we've got PJ in the Porsche. PJ didn't have, I don't think, did a qualifying lap. So he's done well to be where he is. We've also got Paul Moore I think Paul Moore's had a bit of an incident with somebody and has been off track as well. Peter Miles is just running, no problem at all. He's being flashed then by the car in front, by the car behind, which is Sousa. Sousa's had a steady race. He's not made much progression. I don't think I've seen him go off either. It's just a car setup thing on this track, I believe. Terry Trowbridge, who got that hit from Nikos late on, and John Saunders has gone wide. He's lost 3 seconds on Chris Bourne, but John Saunders has gone wide part way through the track, and that's now put a gap of 4 seconds between him and Chris Bourne. Nikos, who's his own worst enemy, just doesn't know where his brake pedal is, and I'm sure he presses the accelerator instead of the brake pedal. He wants to take them bobber boots off, so when he presses one pedal, he only presses one pedal rather than the whole footwell. Merch, who looks like he's had a difficult time actually. I mean, his lap times are 52.8 and his best is a 151.9. That's I think Merch is struggling in the wet and the dark here. He's really not getting the car around the corners. Very, very surprising that. I mean, there is tracks you just don't like, you know, and I think someone mentioned, I think Reese said, the dark and the wet's just too much. And if you've not practiced, you're going to struggle. You need to practice purely just to get yourself to grips with the setup of the track and where you can brake. And you can see Merch there just followed him, went wide into one corner. And then Daniel, who's been off track, is now running again. He went into the pits. I presume he ran out of fuel and he was under qualifying mode. It is Merch, Robert, yeah. So Melvin is putting pressure on Mike Dearlove, and there's been a big change, and there's been an incident actually. I don't know if it's an incident I'm seeing, but Reese has lost a place. He's lost 2 places. Yeah, it's showing me Reese has just lost 2 places, so I presume he's had a bit of an off. In fact, he's gone wide. Are his tyres causing him a problem? He's lost another place to Jeremy. So Jeremy's got him out the outside. All I can think of is he's got on the sand and he's dirtied his tyres. And they just haven't got the grip back yet. And that's so yeah, he's lost a place there. And John Saunders is way behind now. So he's that going wide has really cost him. It's not cost him the race. It's not cost him the podium. But he was looking very, very racy. Now, I'm going to jump to the front because we've now got Merch in front of these 2. This is going to be interesting. We've now got back markers coming up to the race. And Merch, as we've seen, is struggling with the car on track. That could cause any number of issues. So Chris is going fast again here. He's caught Mediotti up. They are going to catch Merch. He's gone wide there. He's going to come back on. They're going to catch him just as they're coming out the start and finish straight into the bendy section. Hold on to your hats. Melvin's managed to pass Dearlove. He's made that stick. And he's now carrying on down the track, back to the front of the grid. They are going to catch Merch up at some point. Yeah, Terry, I did some practice. I had to practice in the Ferrari yesterday, and as I said, for the constructors, the sweat was streaming off me just practicing. It was so difficult, and yet I weren't sweating in the Aston because I drive the Aston all the time. It's amazing how different the cars are, and without practice, you just can't race. Chris has got a good run up here. Is Chris going to go up the inside again? He's Mediotti, but Merch is there for the taking. Oh. Fair dues to Merch, he moved out the way, but I think he did stop the potential of Chris going up the inside. We've got 5.5 minutes left to go. This has been an interesting and great race actually. I've tried to mix it up as well by showing different battles around the track. Chris has got the run here. Is he going to make it stick? He needs a good... Oh, he's just not got the pace. This isn't over, is it? You just know it's not over. I still think Chris has saved some of his tyres. And he's waiting for that moment. And he will get a better drive out of a corner. You can see it. He's just missing that half a second. to get the power down. Hi Craig, didn't see you in the stream, mate. Welcome. The reason for that is when you set your car up, you get the, oh, and there's been a, oh dear. I'm going to jump back because there's been another incident. I'm going to let you guess who. You know, typical, we've got Nikos and Terry Trowbridge. Can anyone tell what it is yet? There you go. Oh, Nikos. It's not, I know I'm laughing, but it's not a laughing matter. He just doesn't seem to break. And the thing is, he's upsetting other racers. And, you know, part of me feels he's just not paying attention on track. I mean, there was a big gap to break there, and he didn't take it. I'm going to sit with this a little bit now because I just know what's going to happen. So as I was saying, so when you create your car, you can stipulate the country flag on your car. If you don't do that, I think the game reverts back to the United Nations flag. So I think this is definitely a case of they've not set it up, because I think Stefan hadn't set his international one. And he was like, where's the English flag? Here's my English flag. And I said to him, you need to set it. So when your car's assigned, it picks that country up. Look how quick again he is. You nearly hit him again then. I mean, I know you're saying he's got a crappy setup, Stefan, and Terry said he's got crap equipment, but if your car was broken and the brake pedal didn't work, you wouldn't drive on the road, would you? I know this isn't driving on the road and no one's going to get hurt, but, you know, it's the profiling game. Yes, it is, Billy. When you go to design your car, one of the fields on the design of your car is the country, and you can select the country there. Yeah, it is, Robert. It's no excuse. You know, and I wouldn't mind if we see this once or twice, but we don't. It's all the time, and it's getting a bit much, you know, when it's the same driver causing the same incident. And it's not a case of going to a replay here. There's been an incident with Jeremy. I'm not too sure what's caused this. So there's, oh dear. So Reese has gone really deep and caught Jeremy, and then Jeremy's doing a bit of ballet dancing. So I think that's hook, line and sinker for Reese, that one. I want to get back to the live stream because, come on, Chris Bourne had passed and Mediotti's took it back. 1 minute to go. You can see Chris isn't giving up. He's going for the duck and dive here. Can he get the run? And the car's just gone deep. And that's Nikos again, who's just gone off at the back. The thing is, if Nikos created a button on his steering wheel to brake, he'd be in a better situation. Because he says he's got no sense on his pedal. It's like an on and off switch. I mean, you've got no chance of trail braking with that setup, have you? I know what you're saying, Billy. I mean, I've had the original flashing lights. Why are they flashing the lights? Leaders on the final lap. They've not finished. All right, they're flashing to let them know. Right, I realise now. This could get interesting. Terry's let them go. Is Sousa going to let them go? Because these guys are really going for it. Sousa's, he should be letting them go here. He doesn't want to be going around that corner. Oh dear. Oh, he's give up. That's very, very good driving, Sousa, to be honest. You did that well, mate. I thought you were going to end up blocking the corner. Spot on. Let these two go for it. There's no one in front of them for a while now, so they're all right to race. Chris has got a good run again. Is he going to go up the inside? Are we going to see the same move as before? Is he going to make it stick? He's showing the outside, but he wants to do the inside. Terry, what pedals does he have on? No, I used to have the original Logitech G25, 29 ones, whatever they are. And you're right, they weren't the best. I never used to slam arse end into people, though. You know, I still knew when to stop. And when I drive my car, I don't slam into the back of people. I still know what the brake pedal's for. Krista's had an incident. I'm just trying to work out who with. Eric's passed Frank Roder, so I think Krista's hit Frank Roder. And Eric's managed to pass them as a result of that contact. Chris knows this is his last opportunity. Susan's had an off in an incident. Merch and Nikos are fighting at the back. Nikos has patched Merce, actually. And there we go. The boat. What a fantastic race with these two gentlemen. Alessandro. I do we have the driver of the day, guys? Is it as simple as Mediotti or Chris Bourne? I didn't ask earlier on. I'm personally going to give it to Alessandro. Got to spell this right because I got what's the names wrong last time. Right, and I need to undo that. Great stuff. Need to change the font because it's too small. It's too big. His name's too big. Is that right? Mediotti. Right, so I'm going to award this one because obviously it's. I'll try and find the driver of the day now. There we go. There we go. Like that. And the driver of the day is going to go to Alessandro Mediotti. Could have given it to either of them, to be fair. But yeah, I think you've just nailed it there, Terry, to be fair. How he carried on racing the way he did with Chris Bourne behind him for the whole race and both battling with no contact. I'm just going to reiterate that. With no contact. It was fantastic and fully deserved in my opinion. So these are the finish times. Chris Bourne finished 0.243 behind. John Saunders way down, so whatever happened really upset the apple cart with him. And you can see there, I think Derek Bird was catching him as well, significantly. And I just want to thank everybody for watching. And we shall see you again on... Oh, I've received an error in playback for some reason, and I don't know why. But the stream inadvertently ended early. My apologies, I don't know why. It says an error occurred. And that's a YouTube error, so I shall end the stream.